Right, today I'm going to make a house for my birds. And by a house I don't mean like a cage. I mean just a little house for them to play in inside their aviary. It's mostly for the cockatiels, just to have a bit of fun. It's my crudely drawn plans. I'm going to start off with a standard sheet of 12mm ply. Now all the measurements that I say in this are going to be in metric, sorry, because I'm from New Zealand. So some of them I'll do maybe in imperial as well. So it's 1/2 inch ply, 12mm ply. I'll just dice that up to the pieces I need, and then I'll stick them together. It's given me the width, the height on my back and my side, which is 260mm. Now that I've cut myself a strip the right height of the back and the sides, I'm now going to cut out those individual pieces. Sorry about the traffic noise today, it's a bit busy. So the overall width at the roof of my house is going to be 400. The actual box of the house itself will be 360, just so there's a little overhang of the roof so it looks like a proper house and it's got little eaves on it. So I'll just measure out what I need for that now. I'm going to have a couple of flanges on either side of the backboard so I can screw it to the board inside my aviary. Coming down 150 just because of the size of my aviary and what I need to attach it to. Cut out these pieces here. I will now just cut out the waste wood to create the flanges. Next I'm just drilling 2 holes in each flange so I can attach it to my aviary. Next I'll make the sides. Now I've cut the basic width of the 2 ends, but I need to angle the top so that the roof has some fall, so it looks like a proper house, and so any water that gets on it runs off. So I'll just do that. The back height of my house is 260mm and the front's going to be about 180. Next I have to do the front of the house. I need to make a bevel on this top edge so that it matches my sides for the roof line. First I'm just going to cut out a window. I'm going to try and leave these bits of timber in here and just dice out so I've got a cute little window there for the birds to stick their head through and have a wee play. I've got the door, which will be here, a little rounded top on it. To make this window, first I'm going to drill a hole in the corner of each one and then I'll just go in there with the jigsaw, finish it off. Got a 10mm drill bit or a 3/8 drill bit. Just few holes. Once you've got a hole drilled in each opposing corner, see there's one square there, you only need 2 holes because you go that way and that way from each hole with the jigsaw. So now I'll finish cutting out the rest of the window. So there's my window cut out. Now decided I will cut the door out too before I bevel the top. Now I've cut out my door. Keep that, and you can then hinge it on either way. I now need to cut the bevel. Needs to match up with that angle there, like so. That will be set on the inside. Then just got to carry that bevel along. I'll now cut that out on the table saw. Once you've got your angles set, drop that blade back down again. It's when you're cutting with the table saw, you don't want to go through too much further than you have to for multiple reasons. So just get it so that the teeth just make it through with a little bit of clearance. Now I've got the bevel, it's a bit of a sand. Shortly we'll be able to put it all together. So I now have my 4 sides. Should we go that way? So I now have my 4 sides. My door. Of course, need a roof and a floor. So to get the floor measurements is doing the floor on the inside so that it looks nice from all sides. You can't actually see the edge of the fly. So it will be the width of this wall, which I've done at 175mm, and the width of the back minus thickness of this 2 sides, so minus 24mm. So I'll now cut the floor. Now that I've got my floor, my 4 sides, just going to give them all a quick sand on the edges, get rid of any little rough splinters or anything that the birds might try and chew on, or I'll cut my finger on, that sort of thing. So just clean them all up, and then I'm going to stick it all together. For that, I'm going to use a nail gun. Now you don't have to use a nail gun, of course, you could just hammer it together. If you've got thick enough ply, you can screw it together. But I'm going to get the nail gun out, just
stir.
Right, so now it's time to nail my little house together here. I'm just using a small brad nailer. Decided not to use glue so that nothing oozes out that the birds might chew on that's toxic to them. I've also used untreated timber in this as well so that they don't chew on it, get poisoned. Always when you're using a nail gun, make sure you wear eye protection. Putting plenty of nails in, seeing as I'm not using glue. Nails cost next to nothing. Now I've got my front, sides and floor on. I need to measure up and make a roof. Just going to have my roof overhang a little bit so it looks a bit more authentic. Then I'll screw my door on and she'll nearly be done. So I've now cut out my roof. I've beveled it on the back and the front. So it sits flush at the back against the piece of timber I'll be attaching it to in my aviary. And just on the front like that, just so it looks a bit more like a real house. So I'll just tack that on now. Once you've finished nailing the roof on, it's almost done. I'm going to put a piece of metal over this, just so it looks a bit more like a proper house. It's just a bit of flashing I had left over from a colour steel job. You could paint it, paint the whole thing if you wanted. I'm not going to paint any of it because I don't want the birds chewing on it. Cockatiels and other parrots will be a bit chewy and I don't want them to ingest anything more than they have to. So what we've got left there now, I'm going to put a little deck out the front here. Maybe I'll attach my door. This is my piece of flashing I'm going to use for a roof. To cover the top. I'm not going to flash it down the sides. Can't be bothered spending too much time on this. So I'm going to bend that over the back just as a sort of watertight bit there so nothing can get in. And I'll just bend it down the front there. So I'm just going to mark it now to bend it. I haven't got a bending brake set up at the moment, so I've just got a makeshift one here. I'll bend this in. Seeing as this is only a thin piece of metal, just going to bend it in this little table vise here. Grabbed a couple of pieces of steel, bit of angle on, bit of flat. Just going to clamp it in at the pencil marks I've made and bend it by hand hopefully. Don't want to quite go 90 degrees because of the bevel on the front, so I'll just Pretty about right there. Fairly good bend there for that process. Let's go see how it is on the house. So there's my bend front. I'm pretty happy with that. It's pretty good, I think. So now I've just got to bend this back edge over, cover up to keep it. So my roof is now sitting on there nicely. I haven't glued it on yet. I'm going to just glue that, clamp it. Before I do that, seeing as that's going to take a bit of time to set, I'm going to put on the deck. For a deck I'm using this bamboo heat pad just bought from a dollar shop. I'm going to attach it so that it sits out the front there. It'll be like a landing platform for the birds to go into the house. So I'll attach that now. Now, seeing as my birds aren't very heavy, I'm just going to do this quick and easy. Hold it under the bottom there. Going to cut back 2 rungs of this little bamboo mat. Hold it flush with this front there. Get it all squared up there. And then just nail it on. Done. No bird's going to knock that off. Not now, Aviary, anyway. Good little landing platform. Now just going to glue this roof on. Decided against putting the door on because it might just be a bit obtrusive and make it a bit hard for the birds to land, so I'll leave it like that at this stage. I can always add it later. A couple of small hinges. So now I'm just going to glue this on with a bit of polyurethane wood glue. Sticks to most bloody things. Spans up. I'll just glue it, clamp it, make it peel off this protective coating. It should be ready to go, and I hope the birds like it. So I've glued and clamped the roof. Now I've just got to wait for it to dry, and then I can install it, and the birds better like it. Here's the house finished, complete with Cockatiel. I haven't put it up as high as I wanted to yet, but you get the gist of it.